Annual family barbecue started out like any other. The smell of grilled burgers filled the air. Kids were running around on the lawn. And my dad, beer in hand, was holding court by the grill. He was in his element, telling stories and making everyone laugh. But as the afternoon wore on, his stories got louder, and his laughter became a little too forced. By his sixth beer, the atmosphere had shifted. He gathered everyone around, a goofy grin plastered on his face, and slung an arm around my shoulders. He said, "Everyone, look at my son. A strata student, captain of the soccer team. You'd never guess he was a complete and total accident." The crowd went silent. A few people chuckled nervously, but most just stared at the ground. I felt my face burn with humiliation. My mom rushed over, her face pale, and tried to steer him away, whispering, "Honey, that's enough." But the damage was done. The word accident echoed in my ears for the rest of the day. That night, I couldn't sleep. Was that how my dad really saw me? Just a mistake. I replayed the scene over and over. The awkward silence. My mum's pained expression. The next morning, the house was quiet. My dad was asleep on the couch, and my mum was sitting at the kitchen table, looking exhausted. She didn't say anything, but she slid a worn, folded letter across the table towards me. It was addressed to me, in her familiar, looping handwriting. With trembling hands, I opened it. The letter was dated just a few weeks after I was born. She wrote about how scared she and Dad were when they found out she was pregnant. They were young, barely making ends meet, and the timing was all wrong. She admitted that, yes, I wasn't planned. But then she described the moment she first held me. She wrote about my tiny fingers curling around hers, the way I looked at her with wide, curious eyes. She said in that instant, all their fears vanished, replaced by a love so overwhelming it took her breath away. She wrote, "You weren't a mistake, my love. You were a surprise. The most wonderful, life-changing surprise we could have ever asked for. You weren't the future we had planned. You became the future we couldn't imagine living without." She explained that my dad, despite his clumsy words and foolish pride, felt the exact same way. His way of dealing with that overwhelming love was to joke. To downplay how much I meant to him because the depth of his feelings scared him. Tears streamed down my face as I read her words. It wasn't about being an accident. It was about being a surprise that brought unexpected joy. I looked up at my mum. At that moment, my dad walked in, looking sheepish. He saw the letter and his face fell. Sometimes, the most beautiful things in life are the ones we never planned for.